He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us.
And frankly, I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for Barack Obama. See, I'm standing in the White House. I wouldn't be in the White House except for Barack Obama. Because it is what it is. Allah Akbar!
That was way less coordinated than I thought it was gonna be.
No, but it was perfect because you kept it blacked out for a second or something.
All right. So if you're just joining us and listening to this for the first time, we got shut down. Literally Islamophobia happening at YouTube. I swear to God, I'm gonna blame our buddy Anang, who's who's Hindu.
That's exactly what happened.
I swear, if we get shut down again, we're just gonna come back straight. We're not even gonna no teasers. I swear to God. I think they shut us down because of the intro, because it used some footage from another YouTube video, and I guess YouTube is, probably they're not big fans of us using other people's content.
They're not big fans of Muslims on YouTube.
They're not big fans of Muslims. They're all Islamophobic, literally, and probably all support QAnon.
Oh, I believe it.
100%.
Absolutely.
Essentially. Yeah. Okay. All right. What the fuck were we talking about again?
we went on. So in the last clip before we got kicked off, you were showing a clip of.
No, I know that, but we opened with the DNC. Oh yeah, Jen Rubin being a simp. But we'll get to that.
We'll get back to it.
We'll get to it. Let's talk about some fucking QAnon and Trump putting his foot in his mouth like he always does.
Especially when it comes to this type of shit.
Yeah. So here's a clip of Trump today at the White House during his White House press conference, taking this question from a reporter.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me, and they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like, we'll send them in, we'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less, okay?
Well, just real quick, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are, actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow.
All right, so looks like we're still in the clear.
There you go.
We're not
We're
banned.
still here.
We're not banned. We're not banned yet, so we know exactly what happened.
It was saying Allahu Akbar in the last.
It was the Allahu
clip.
Akbar. Allahu Akbar is copyrighted and trademarked by YouTube.
Shit. YouTube.
Wouldn't that be a fucking trip?
Damn.
God, man, that'd be so wild. By the way, I just realized just now that I have it as a BB of the hour on the lower thirds. Let's just switch that up. I'm very open about sharing my public, how you say, stumbles. So
right, very public, very live.
Yeah, very dumb. Anyways, President Trump, he says this shit. Just to give you an idea, though, if you're not familiar at all with QAnon, it has been in the darker corners of the internet since late 2017. But as of 2020, it's been creeping more and more into mainstream politics. This theory, which has absolutely no base in logic or even credibility, it centers on an alleged anonymous high-ranking government official known as Q, who shares information about an anti-Trump deep state, often tied to Satanism and child sex trafficking. They obviously have probably heard of the deep state. The deep state works in mysterious ways to thwart the agenda of President Trump. Now, in years prior to President Trump being in office, we would just call that bureaucracy. Like, it is just endless bureaucracy in Washington about how, there's a status quo when it comes to policy, and you're only going to budge up to a point for, getting certain things done. And they talk about cutting through red tape. That's now been replaced by smashing the deep state. And I have yet to meet somebody who actually believes in the QAnon theory. What about you, Jay? Have you ever met anyone, or do you fucking believe it?
No, my mom does. She's a follower completely. Like, she believes it hook, line, and sinker. Like, she honestly thinks that Kennedy Jr. is going to come out as the savior. Against Antichrist.
No, you're shitting me, right?
No, I'm shitting you. Of course, I'm shitting you. She doesn't know what the fuck QAnon is.
I was like, your mom is almost a bigger lib than my mom. I'm like, how is this even possible?
I know. I mean, when she was over here, we kind of took her out of that a little bit. Yeah. But no,
you red pilled her a little bit.
Right, just a bit, and just a bit, and then no, I don't know anyone who knows about QAnon. And it is completely, the people who follow it are really delusional. And some people say that there are high-ranking people who follow it and all this kind of stuff. But and there kind of are, especially in the GOP.
I mean, we've seen in just this past week, we saw a Republican congressional candidate by the name of Marjorie Taylor Greene winning her Republican primary race for an open seat in Georgia's 14th congressional district. She is likely going to be a congresswoman by the general election because it is a R plus 27 district, and it's in the northwest corner of Georgia, and that place is red as fuck. So
right.
The likelihood of her winning is very high, as opposed to Laura Loomer, who won her Republican primary in Florida. That's very low. That's like a D plus, 18, 19 district. I think it's
right.
It's D double digits, double D,
double D's,
double delicious.
Yeah.
But real quick on Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she is not only a QAnon supporter and believer, but she's also a 9/11 truther. And I got a clip right here. So if you putting aside just QAnon for a second, we're talking about someone who believes that 9/11 was an inside job. So let me just play this real quick.
Barack Obama becomes president in 2008, okay? By that time in our American history, we had had George Bush for 8 years. We 9/11. Sorry about that, guys. Call came in, so I had to decline it. But we had witnessed 9/11, right? We had witnessed 9/11, the terrorist attack in New York, and the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, and the so-called plane that crashed into the Pentagon. It's odd. There's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon. But anyways, I'm not going to dive into the 9/11 conspiracy. But 9/11 had happened. Our country was very much into a war. We had invaded Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction that we never found. At that time, we were basically destabilizing the Middle East. Barack Obama comes in 2008 as president.
What the fuck?
Fucking crazy.
What the fuck? And the worst part about it is you got Trump retweeting these assholes. And here, let me pull this up because I just want to show you how fucking dumb this timeline is. So Laura Loomer, if you're not familiar with Laura Loomer, she at the very least is she's an anti-Muslim bigot. She hates people like me. I don't know if she hates people like Jay because Jay at least eats ass. So that kind of
eating ass gets you far in life, dude.
It does. It does. So with that being said, I mean, she slashed her own tires. She got banned from every social media app imaginable for how big of a bigot she's been. And can you see that right there?
Yes.
All right. So at the top of the screen, you'll see Donald J. Trump retweeted this. And it's a tweet of Marjorie Taylor Greene congratulating Laura Loomer on her primary win. So I don't know how, look, do I think Trump knows that what QAnon is? That jury's out. But the fact that he says like, oh, they support me, so they must be good people. Like, no, just shut the fuck up. Like everyone who supports you is not a good person. Like,
right.
Like how narcissistic do you have to be in order to be like, oh, those are my people. They got to be okay, right? No. just like the one thing that Trump doesn't know with absolute certainty is not shutting the fuck up. He just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Right.
And it drives me nuts. And even if you give him the benefit of the doubt and say he doesn't know what QAnon is, okay, why would he say that type of shit on to the nation? And the very best thing that comes out of it is he gives the QAnon conspiracy theorists a pass on their belief, gives them legitimacy, gives them credibility, and that shit's not gonna go away. And I'm not saying that QAnon is the worst thing or the worst conspiracy theory, but we've seen how some right-wing conspiracies have put people in danger. Just look at fucking Pizzagate.
Right.
I mean, you remember that Comet Ping Pong? Everybody thought that Comet Ping Pong was operating a child sex trafficking ring at the behest of Hillary Clinton, and a fucking gunman showed up.
Right, and he shot up the place. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't kill anyone, but like
right.
I think he got shot. I don't know. He might have even gotten killed. I can't even fully remember. But it's just like he doesn't need to do this shit at all, and it just drives people who look. He
does it like because it's people praising him, because
exactly. I mean, that's exactly it.
Look like it's a win, and all this kind of, like you were saying, narcissistic stuff. He doesn't see it further than that, and you can see like he was joking with them when he's like, "Oh, would that be a bad thing?"
No, but I mean, like even then, like the fact that there's like, but like even giving that idea credibility or legitimacy is just fucking stupid.
Right, because
It's dumb. He's the president of the United States. He shouldn't be giving this shit any legitimacy.
Exactly.
Like, I know it's Trump, but like just the fact that he is going even just this length. Like,
right.
I'm always reminded of, I want to say Rob Province said this. Shout outs to Rob. If Trump was trying to, or maybe it was Neville, one of those two. If Trump was trying to lose the election, what would he be doing differently? And I can't think of anything. There's no, there's nothing to gain out of this. There's no benefit.
No, there isn't. There's nothing. There's no benefit out of it. And to give these people any kind of legitimacy is wrong, especially from the president. And they're not like, these are the whack jobs that think that ordering a pizza from somewhere is going to get you 3 underage girls to sleep with. So just any kind of little hint or little whatever nudge saying that, you know, you guys are great or you guys love America and all this kind of stuff is going to give them more, you know, more solid belief into their fucking stupidness.
I mean, it's just patently dumb. And you got Trump tweeting about Laura Loomer, giving her essentially a pass on what she believes. It's just like, he doesn't need to cozy up to these people at all. It is fucking stupid.
No, it really is. He doesn't have to do shit for this stuff. And it's also a primary that she's going to fucking lose. So why even comment on it?
Yeah.
Like, why even say shit about it? It's like, whatever. But he can't help it. He just can't fucking help it.
Billy Finn chiming in. Thank you, Billy. I am giving money for the purpose of promoting a message that Laura Loomer is garbage and there's no room for her in conservatism. Vomiting. A fucking men. All right.
Hell,
because we got cut off. Because we got cut off in the last Habibi Power Hour because of this rampant Islamophobia from YouTube. What are we drinking tonight, fellas and ladies and Habibis and Habibtis?
And Habibtis. And Habib Qs and Rs and,
and QBBs. Mickey White, unforced errors is exactly what it is. Trump just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. And even Matt Gaetz. Let me show this.
Well, Matt Gaetz is one of those really fringe fucking dumbasses on the right. He really is. He's like that bridge of going too far and trying to reel things in. It's just goddamn.
Yeah. So you got fucking Matt Gaetz posting a tweet, a photo with Laura Loomer saying, "Way to go."
This is just disgusting stuff. Honestly,
it's just
really
so stupid. It's just so
sick.
All of it.
I mean,
and then there's the less meme.
if seeing people like Ilhan Omar and stuff gets you mad, and this stuff you just brush over, is just fucking.
Yeah,
you can't do that. This is
we've definitely railed on Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib enough as being exactly at the very least anti-Semitic, but also believing in like the Jewish conspiracy. Like, nah, you got to call that shit out regardless of whose party it's in.
Exactly. You can't what about this shit? Like these people are fucking sick.
Yeah. So
and also her tires were murdered by her. She killed them.
Speaking of tires, I was gonna get to the DNC, but Goodyear tires is now under fire. This can we?
That was a good segue, honestly.
I just try. I mean, I try, man.
You do it well, dude. You do it well.
Thank you. I have a focus on TV production, and obviously I'm not cut out for it because Anyways, President Trump is calling on his followers to not buy Goodyear tires and threatening to remove them from his custom presidential limousine, despite previously railing against cancel culture after an employee posted a viral photo of a company policy banning Make America Great Again, and other political attire in the workplace. Here's some of the other things that they banned. They banned Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, and the only acceptable messages are Black Lives Matter and LGBT Pride. This is part of a diversity training seminar that took place. It was an employee who came from a diversity training session in Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas, obviously not very like Democratic or liberal hub right there. But they posted this, and now all of a sudden you got a boycott going up against. But the reason I bring this up is because I bring it up to dunk on Matt Walsh of all people, because Neon Taster, Gnome Bloom, did a fantastic job of at least finding this beautiful, beautiful piece of work. Let me find this real quick. Right here. Hope you guys can see that. So the very first tweet from Matt Walsh says, Goodyear bans Blue Lives Matter and All Lives Matter messages while allowing BLM and LGBT. We need to get hashtag boycott Goodyear trending. They need to overturn this discriminatory police. I assume he's saying policy, but it comes out police. I agree. The police are very discriminatory, especially the people like you and me.
Right.
He continues on. They need to apologize for it and apologize for the support of a violent Marxist organization. And then here's the other side by side. This is from December 2018, in which Matt Walsh writes, "You will never win an argument by boycotting. All you do is cause the other side to entrench itself even more. If you would just engage intellectually instead and explain why you disagree, then maybe there could be some slight hope of a meaningful exchange occurring." So just brutal right there, because if you think about how conservatives have reacted to cancel culture, there was a fucking Harper's letter published in Harper's Magazine, and people left, right, and center were getting what's the best word? Lambasted for signing onto this letter to promote the exchange of ideas and have open dialogue. And then you have this shit coming from conservatives and Trump supporters. And it's just like, I feel like the outrage is just way over the top. Like, so like how many people work at Goodyear like around the country? Most of them probably don't even give a fuck about politics. Right?
No, they don't. A lot of them are just there for the cultural win and stuff like that.
Yeah,
well.
like it's just
the message from Goodyear is wrong, and you need to be able to openly debate why it's wrong. Not say we're gonna.
What do you think is what part do you think is wrong? I'm just curious. What do you think?
They're saying that they want to spread diversity, but why can't you say Blue Lives Matter?
Well, they want racial diversity, not intellectual diversity.
But the thing is that it's still not actual diversity. And you need to be able to have open debates with these people on why intellectual diversity matters more than just racial diversity in a workplace. But just stating that we need to boycott this stuff is doing no better than the cancel culture that you're rallying against.
I would say that the whole... Oh, go ahead.
And also what I was going to say is that what is that going to do to the product of Goodyear itself? That the product of the tire, if they have these policies, what is that going to do if you go and buy a Goodyear tire? Is it going to call you racist every time it rolls down the road? It's not. It's still going to be working fine. It's still going to have a great warranty on it, and it's still going to be made here in an American company. So it's like, why does it matter that much as well?
Yeah,
you know.
Carlos Chavez, thank you, Carlos, chiming in here. 2020 already boycotted any kind of Goodyear. I like it.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's worth the $2.
Here's what I was gonna say. I don't care if companies get into the realm of politics, but they gotta fucking own up to it. And what we're seeing right now from Goodyear is that they've issued a statement following President Trump's tweeting stating, quote, "The visual in question was not created or distributed by Goodyear Corporate, but that it asked its associates to refrain from workplace expressions in support of political campaigning for any candidate or political party, as well as similar forms of advocacy that fall outside the scope of racial justice and equity issues." So by Goodyear Corporate not weighing in on politics or by not being political, they're being political. And right after the death of George Floyd at the end of May, in the beginning of June, you saw a bunch of brands and corporations start going full woke. And look, it's fine, but they never really cared before every single other company did it. So it was almost like they were pressured to do it. And that's where things start to become problematic, because all of a sudden it doesn't look like they genuinely care about the issues that they're advocating for. They're just doing it to not get canceled. And that goes back to our whole conversation about cancel culture. Like, why is it so bad to not be political? Why is it so bad to just avoid making any political statements whatsoever? Why can't you just exist and serve your customers or your clients or provide whatever services that you want and just be done with it? You don't have to weigh in politics every time. It just so happens that that President Trump has broken people on the left so much that everything, even not condemning Trump, is an act of complicity or it's a political act.
Silence is compliance.
Silence is complicity.
Is violence.
Silence is violence. So it's just this whole era is insufferable. I hate it. I mean, it's good for us. It's good for us because you get to hear the grumblings of young Muslim men, young Habibis, and opining on politics. And honestly, I don't think there would be any other time that we'd be able to weigh in on this stuff. A couple quick comments. SoCal Chris says, "Have a beer with me, Jay." Thank you, SoCal Chris.
Well, I don't have beer. I have White Claw and whiskey. I don't drink beer.
Oh shit, Jay!
I'm
now
sorry,
you're gonna Jay.
Well, I'll go get a White Claw.
You're canceled.
You can get on to the next topic.
Bruce chiming in here from his Twitter suspension, which has existed since the beginning of time. Bruce Carroll says, "Is that a green sperm on Siraj's shirt?" I wish.
You wish it was green sperm on your thing?
All I do is see men. No, it's a Heart for Wales t-shirt. The men left and right.
I think I've been banned more than Bruce has been.
Yeah, but you found a way to come back, whereas Bruce is a bitch and hasn't been able to come back.
I mean, I've tried to walk him through it, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah, well, not everyone's perfect. Okay, real quick. Just highlighting this one story real quick before we go and talk about the DNC. Operation Legend. This is a 9-city anti-violent crime program launched by the Department of Justice, where what's it called? Attorney General Bill Barr announced that over 1,400 arrests were made. 1,000 state fugitives were apprehended, and 200 face federal charges, many for illegal possession of a firearm. And this comes as there's been a spike in crime throughout a number of cities in the country. Obviously, I told you it was a 9-city operation. And in a time when President Trump is looking for results and trying to implement law and order, as far as that goes, that's a pretty good report for him. It just so happens that all the violence is still happening throughout the country.
Right.
So, I mean, you can announce all the numbers you want to, but if people in Portland are still getting kicked in the fucking head after being dragged out of the truck and then being shamed for posting anti-George Floyd stuff as a way to justify it, I guess that, that nullify, those numbers, all those arrests nullify, those crazy acts of violence that are caught on camera.
Right. I mean, it's a reassuring thing though, like for him to come out and say that there's something being done basically, because you have Ted Wheeler and you have Lightfoot and you have their DAs of Portland and of like Chicago, for example, not willing to do anything on this violence, and they come out and say it repeatedly that they're not going to do anything about the riots, about them breaking into other people's businesses and stealing their livelihoods and burning down their property and all that kind of stuff. So to hear these numbers is actually kind of reassuring, because it's kind of like there's somebody on your side who doesn't want your shit to get burnt down, basically, and is trying to work against it. Yeah,
I mean, it's just ridiculous though, because this truck driver, this guy who he had an accident, gets pulled out of his truck and is mobbed and kicked in the fucking face. I mean, like,
it's a hard video to watch. It's a hard video to watch.
Damn, like it is just like,
And he was helping out a trans woman and a woman. And that's
whoa. Trans women are women, Jay. Don't fucking do that.
No, it was a trans woman and a woman.
A cis woman. You gotta say cis woman.
Sorry, I apologize.
Don't you bring that fucking cis privilege in here.
Woman with dick, woman with vagina. He was helping them out.
Individual with cervix.
An individual with cervix and an individual with a dick. If we're not banned yet, I don't know what.
Yeah, we're gonna get banned pretty soon. If this were on Twitter, we get banned right away. Anyways, that being said, let's get to the DNC, because that's happening this week. Welcome, Habibis, our National Jihadi Convention.
I'm sorry. All I wanted to say about
fuck you, Jay. You get right in the middle of my announcement.
I know you were getting right into it, but there was something I wanted to say about about Portland and about Chicago and stuff, and how we were led to believe that if the feds left by Ted Wheeler and by the media, and
Lori Lightfoot,
but people in the media, that the violence would be squashed. But it's only gotten worse, and it's going on over and over and over again, and they are still fucking gaslighting everyone on it, like that Washington Post thing about
the only thing I'll put. Let me push back on that, because I don't think the violence overall has gotten worse. I think it has become concentrated in certain places like Portland and Chicago, some spots in New York, but it doesn't even compare to what happened in June after George Floyd's death. And
absolutely. And the main places I was talking about was Chicago and Portland, because Ted Wheeler came out and said, the feds leave, it's going to be over. Washington Post said the next day the feds left and it was squashed, and in Portland in specific, but that's obviously not the case.
Yeah. It's just that we still see these videos coming out on Twitter, and look, I have to constantly remind myself that Twitter is not real life. It's just not. Like, people who are very online, like you and me, are probably learn about stuff almost instantly because it's on Twitter. And then, like, I hear it from like my parents or my in-laws, like almost a day or sometimes several days later. I'm like, that's been out for a week. Like, where have you been? You losers. It's just, when it comes to Portland, it's just like they have been protesting for so long. It is now becoming the norm, and violence like that is becoming the norm. And I feel like there is heavy lifting done by the media to make sure it's not getting covered. And that's how you normalize more and more violence, is to make it so that it is not new to anyone. Everyone would be like, oh, Portland, oh, that place has been a shit show for the last 3 months. Or, well, the last time I think we were doing this, talking about Portland, was there were 69 days of protesting. Nice. And that might have been 2 weeks ago. So add 14 more days, we're well into what? Late, almost 90 days of protesting. It's just, it's not going to go anywhere. And they're doing, they're blocking roads in Manhattan, and Bill de Blasio ain't doing shit about it. In fact, and we'll talk about Andrew Cuomo in our weekly jihad segment. But I don't think I've hated anyone in the country more than I thought I would hate Bill de Blasio. But Andrew Cuomo has somehow supplanted him. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's going to the DNC, calling it the fucking European virus, not the Chinese virus. Obviously, we're talking about the coronavirus. And then saying things like, we did it the right way. Well, there were fucking 32,000 New Yorkers dead, you asshole. You put almost 11,000 estimated people died in nursing homes because of policy you put in place, sending coronavirus positive patients recovering from it to nursing homes to just give it to fucking everyone else. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Sick of this shit.
Absolutely. But this is a good segue. You got it right now.
Yeah. So the DNC, this fucking piece of shit DNC convention. All right. Let me take a breather real quick. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Woo.
Did we get a Habibi chiming in here? We got a Habibi. We got a Habibi comment from the super chat. Where you at? Where you at, Habibi? Where you at? Oh man. This is from Drew White. And why can't I find the comment? Maybe it's at the bottom. Oh, here we go. There we go. Please find out. This is from Drew White. Please find out if the Robert Province in the chat is our buddy, Educated Hillbilly. If it is, please encourage his return to Twitter. I'm going to leave that up to him as to whether he wants to return to Twitter. But it is Educated Hillbilly. Sorry to blow up your spot, Rob. Fuck you. Fuck
That's $10 right there. That's $10.
But I appreciate it, Drew. Yeah, we're gonna sell. Yeah, we're selling you out, Rob.
I'll sell my mom out for $15. Come on, who's willing to pay?
This is becoming an all-out crack convention right here.
I like Bruce is like, I'm real for $20.
Like, Jay, how much dick are you willing to suck for $20?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. We about to find out. Anyways, Habibis, welcome to the National Jihadi Convention. We are here to not. We're only almost 40 minutes into it to introduce our National Jihadi Convention, but here we are. The Democratic National Convention is taking place this week virtually. It was supposed to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the reason for that was because Hillary Clinton lost Wisconsin, part of her blue wall. And they were hoping to get it back by being in Milwaukee. Now, because of coronavirus, they don't get the benefit of being in Wisconsin. So, and also Hillary still doesn't have to go to Wisconsin this election cycle. So congrats to you. I'm glad you never have to go to Wisconsin again for the rest of your life.
She really hates the place.
She really fucking hates Wisconsin. I guess it's, Bill Clinton must live there. That's probably why she never goes. So a couple of notable speeches and noteworthy events. We're not going to do all of it, but Michelle Obama gave a pretty energizing speech that many Democrats were like, oh, please, for the love of God, please run. Like anytime she opens her mouth, it's like, fucking run, Michelle, let's go. And she never, she hates politics. And, actually, I respect her for never, well, let's never say never because, it could happen in the future. But at least holding that encouragement at bay, because as soon as anyone steps into the political fray, that person generally tends to suck a lot. Yeah. So, and I actually have respect for Michelle Obama. She seems like a genuinely nice person. And it just like the critiques of her are just so off base because I've seen people like very fringe far right trolls insinuating or suggesting that she's a man. It's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, is there nothing else to criticize her that you gotta like suggest that she's a man? Like, is that how low we're going? Like, really?
It's disgusting, but I mean, they go. It's politics. There's no low that they won't go.
I get that, but like, man, like if this shit was taught, if people suggested Melania Trump was a man, you would bet your ass that Trump supporters would fucking wage a goddamn war against the libs.
Oh, absolutely. No, for sure. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. It's like asking if Obama is really an American.
Or really black. Yeah. It's the
really
birther stuff. It's exactly like the birther
same thing
stuff.
was happening with Kamala Harris. And the funny thing is, it happened with John McCain as well. It's a disgusting
Yeah,
thing.
but John
They
McCain's
do
thing
it-
was not based on race.
Right. That's what I was going to get to. Like they're doing this based on race on Kamala Harris.
And just because
Obama.
I beat you to it, you're the fucking racist of this podcast.
Bro, I'm more brown than you are. So
That's true.
Impossible.
Well, Sarah Jacobs chiming in here. Jay, what is the part after Assalamu alaikum and what does it mean? So it's Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It says, may the peace and blessings of Allah, the most merciful and beneficent, be upon you. Right? Exactly. That's it.
It means that, or I'm going to kill you, you son of a bitch.
I'm
joking. It doesn't mean that.
It
doesn't mean that part.
dual meanings. I mean, the thing about Arabic is that one word can have one word can have 12 different meanings or 69 different meanings. Nice.
Nice.
So a couple of other things. So actually, it was funny. I got flack for making jokes about Michelle Obama's simps because all they wanted her to do is to have her run. And everyone's like, why do you hate Michelle Obama? Like, I didn't say shit about Michelle. I literally wrote like, Michelle Obama inhales the Dems. Oh my God, please run. Like, that is making fun of your fucking desperation, you losers.
Right.
Like,
and then
I get they're protective of her because of like all the birther stuff and her and then people, people on the like trolls on the far right calling her a man, but like, come on, just fucking lighten up a little. But it is nice that we get to criticize Bill Clinton as much as we do without any backlash whatsoever because he's done some shit.
No, he has.
So he gave a speech at the DNC, which is fucking amazing. It's amazing this man got a speech considering all the shit that's come to light in the last 4 years. He was going to be the first gentleman. Imagine if Hillary Clinton was the fucking president and this shit came out about Bill Clinton's association with Jeffrey Epstein. Holy shit. Would that be crazy? That would be a fucking legitimate White House scandal that could threaten the Hillary Clinton presidency. Right.
And I think it would. And I can already imagine how they would defend it, calling it like, why are you blaming the wife for the
Hold on 1 second. Bruce Carroll, good night everyone. It's past my bedtime. Get the fuck out of here, Bruce.
Goddamn fucking boomer.
Good night, Bruce. Love you, Bruce. Anyways, back to Bill Clinton.
Right. I think it would be. And a lot of people's criticisms on Hillary Clinton was the fact that we're going to put Bill Clinton back into the White House. Even after the fact, all of this shit about him is coming in more and more. And then the Me Too movement came in and they're like, Bill Clinton really is irredeemable and all this kind of stuff. And then now they're like, oh, Bill Clinton. Oh. It's
well, there was a what's it called? There's a video posted earlier. I also shared it on Twitter of Bill Clinton flying on a plane with fucking Jeffrey Epstein that was on VH1. And it was him, Kevin Spacey. So Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Chris Tucker from Rush Hour fame, and Jeffrey Epstein all on the plane. And then Daily Mail published a few photos of Bill Clinton getting a back massage or shoulder rub from one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. That shit, I haven't seen it get enough coverage. I haven't shared it because I'm always cautious when it comes to the Daily Mail because they publish some stuff that may not be accurate. So I've been like holding off, waiting to see if anyone else is going to cover it. But like just those photos alone, like those photos are unmistakably Bill Clinton getting a massage from a young woman who may or may not be a Jeffrey Epstein victim, and that's not good at all.
No, it's not. And more and more stuff, like he's flown with him like 30 different times. He's gone to the island multiple times, like all of these different things. And it's just getting more and more, it's getting harder and harder for them to ignore.
Yeah.
Like, how are you ignoring these things? How can you have him come up into the DNC National Convention while just the other fucking day, Kamala Harris was like, I believe Joe Biden's accusers. I believe Brett Kavanaugh's accusers and all this kind of shit. And then she just fucking flips. You know what I mean? She flips like,
yeah, but that's politics. I mean, but like that is like, look, okay.
No, that is politics. For sure, that's politics. But I'm
like
saying
Hillary
how
Clinton.
hard she went after Brett Kavanaugh is just showing that the Me Too movement was based upon how they could use it to go after political opponents. They didn't really care about it. And I'm talking mainly about the DNC.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the Me Too movement as long as they couldn't like go after.
For sure. Like if there wasn't a political benefit to them, they didn't give a shit. So like with Bill Clinton, like that guy was still considered a patriarchal figure in the Democratic Party who had just a charismatic quality about him in which he could, rally voters together. And I remember during the 2012 Democratic National Convention, which was arguably the last time which Bill Clinton received any positive, on consensus, like positive press, was because he gave a keynote speech for Obama's reelection campaign at the DNC, and that he was trying to sell Democrats and those on the fence, independent voters, on the benefits of Obamacare. And obviously the country went with Obama for a second term. And I guess we have Bill Clinton partially to thank for that. But I also want to highlight, because today is actually Bill Clinton's birthday. And if you were on Twitter, like Habibi and I were, you would have seen this shit right here. Can you see that? That's a tweet from Hillary Clinton saying, "Join me in wishing this young man a happy birthday." Let's scroll down. It's fucking a conversation between Hillary Clinton and people they follow or mentioned in this tweet.
Shit. If you scroll if you scroll down, I think if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll find somebody saying happy birthday to this pedo or something like that. That was also, I don't know if you can find it, but Comfortably Smug posted it. I don't know if it was a troll.
I had to.
And he even has Bill Clinton as a pedo.
Oh my god. Oh, I had to go like that.
You had to like it.
Oh my god.
Retweet that shit. Retweet it.
Retweeting it live on this. Happy birthday to this pedophile. Man, the fucking balls.
Right. That's so perfect. It's a queer socialist. It's not even a right-wing person. It's a Bernie bro.
Oh,
that's so fucking good. That's perfect. That's amazing.
That is by far. I'm gonna scroll that back up just because you got to get that side by side. Oh my god, that is just beautiful. My god. Oh man. That's good. How are we doing? You guys doing okay? I'm sorry that we had the little mix up with YouTube and they banned us. For a brief segment. I'm glad we were able to get back on, but that was pretty funny. Okay. Real quick, AOC, she gave a 90 second speech in which she gave a symbolic nomination to the runner-up Bernie Sanders, and the NBC News media team or social media team completely fucked it up, losing their shit, thinking that she was going against the grain and was endorsing Bernie Sanders over Joe Biden, which, look, we know she's not going to endorse Joe Biden. She might maybe coming up to the end of end of the election cycle, but it's like making a whole lot of shit about nothing. And I feel like Democrats are there are some who are very eager to make sure that the Democratic Party is as disjointed as it was in 2016, which I don't think it is.
Right. I don't think it is either. But the people that are not really in line with it are, I think, the squad. I think they're the loudest of it, and they have the loudest followers. But I don't think the majority of the Democrats in the DNC is like with them. But there's not enough. There's not enough of the squad to actually have a rift in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they're too young. They have a lot of power, and they just don't know how to wield it yet. And when they finally figure that out, you probably should be on the lookout for them, because there's obviously talk about AOC running for president in 2024, when she'll be 35 by that time, if she ends up running for president.
No way.
But there's also the possibility that she runs for Senate in New York and has a legitimate chance of beating Chuck Schumer, which probably fucking terrifies the fuck out of him.
Probably, but Chuck Schumer would probably be dead by then too. Like, all these fucks are old as shit. No, look, there needs to be something about like an age limit for these people to be. I'm sorry, Jay. I apologize.
You can only talk about Joe Biden's death, not anyone else's.
Got it. Chuck Schumer is probably going to die in the next 3 years.
Yeah, the likelihood of Chuck Schumer dying before Joe Biden is low, but man, are we going to have to go back and reference this if that happens?
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
and then you're going to,
and then you can literally post it out and right after one of them, after Chuck Schumer dies, and be like, "See, I was right, guys." And just make yourself look like a giant asshole.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'll do.
Only soulless ghouls will post something like that, and we may just be those soulless ghouls. We have no soul. Okay, real quick. Linda Sarsour, she got a speaking slot at the DNC, not prime time, but she was part of the Muslim delegation, or whatever the fuck it's called.
How do you feel with her representing you in the Democratic Party?
I hate it so much. Well, I don't care about the Democratic Party because I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just Habibi. And I prefer to just be an independent thinker and call shit out when I see it. But Linda Sarsour drives me up the fucking wall. I cannot tell you how much it infuriates me that she has such a huge platform and so much influence to sort of speak for Muslims, American Muslims around the country. First of all, I mean, like, she's anti-Semitic. She's raised money for what was it, a convicted terrorist or a alleged terrorist?
I think it was convicted terrorist.
Yeah. Yes. In any case, like, she is the last person that I want speaking for me. And that's why I just prefer to just speak for me and not let anyone else represent me. So anytime Linda Sarsour does get on her platform, I like to just try to ignore her, because the thought of engaging with a person like that, someone who gives Nation of Islam minister or leader Louis Farrakhan the time of day and praises him, who is a rabid anti-Semite, shows you a lot about who she is. And everything with the Women's March is just like, everything about her just drives me nuts. And I don't hate people, but there is a point in which they are just so insufferable that I can't be nice to those people. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt because they don't deserve it. And Linda Sarsour is one of those types of people who is an opportunist. She's a grifter, and she only cares about elevating her own platform to ensure that she's relevant. And I think I actually, credit to the Biden campaign for disassociating themselves with her and combating against BDS or denouncing BDS and denouncing her views. But she's still got a fucking speaking slot at the DNC. That's unacceptable. That shouldn't happen. And
right. But
it's
I
just,
mean, like you said, credit to Biden compared to Trump retweeting.
yeah, no, for sure, and Trump deserves all the criticism for that. But like,
and Biden
this is
deserves praise because the thing I don't like about Linda Sarsour is how they use her as a representative of what a Muslim American is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a Muslim, like, they're not looking to praise terrorists. They're not
right
looking to be the stereotypical person who's like, yeah, people going and blowing up themselves are being martyrs, and they need to go do this, and they need to kill Israeli Jews and all this kind of stuff. It's a hateful, and it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Like, it's just like if every single Native American saw Elizabeth Warren get up on a stage and start speaking for Native Americans. Oh, that's because that fucking happened as well. At the DNC Native American Caucus meeting, Elizabeth Warren was one of the speakers. Do I have to remind you that she, what is it? One and
1024th?
Yeah, 1024th Native American. Less Native American blood than President Trump, I think.
Probably, honestly. Yeah. I know it's less Native American blood than I have.
I think I have more than her.
Well, you definitely probably have more Indian blood in
That's
you
true.
than
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Red dot gang, stand up. I'm not Hindu. Well, hold on. Maybe there's a way I can become a Jew-Slim and Hindu. What would it be?
Jew-Slim and Hindu. Jew-Slim.
Jew-Slim. We'll figure that out for another day. I'm just going to absorb every faith and become like, Voltron, the Voltron of faiths. With Allah being the head.
Shit. No, I've been meaning to tweet out this meme I made of you looking like Jesus with.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
It's so good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. You're gonna have to post that eventually. It's good. It's good. But so there was that. Elizabeth Warren speaking at the DNC Native American Caucus meeting. Everybody was all making fun of her. You got Amy Klobuchar making jokes about the fucking blizzard again, and how Trump needs to use the United States Postal Service to essentially 100% change his address. So fucking stupid. And in spite of Amy Klobuchar's jokes, she is still infinitely funnier than Sarah Cooper.
Yes.
For those who are not familiar with Sarah Cooper, she's the one who does those Trump lip sync videos. It's just like it's an absolute chore to watch her now. Like, at first it's like, oh, this is kind of funny, like a nice spoof, but she kept doing it and she fucking killed it in the sense that, like, it doesn't offer any comedic value whatsoever. And then she got a fucking Netflix special out of it and was like guest hosting the Jimmy Kimmel show. Like, come on.
Not only a guest special, they were actually writing articles saying that she's the reason why Trump wanted to
ban TikTok.
TikTok. And it's like, come the fuck on. So he doesn't even know who the fuck this bitch is. Nobody does, like, except the boomer fucking blue check Twitter users and shit. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, Cox chiming in here. Thank you, Cox. Boris, come back to Twitter. Fuzzy, where are you? R.I.P. to some of the Habibi gang. They went R.I.P. this week. Boris, I think, got banned. Fuzzy, I think, is taking a break. And then Cryan Brassenstein, who doesn't normally, I think, tune into Habibi Power Hour, but he was also banned. So waiting to see where they end up. Inshallah, they will end up into the kingdom of heaven with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to embrace them.
Inshallah, ya Rab.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, ya
Yarhamahi.
Ya Allah.
May the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon them. Okay, real quick. I just want to share this one tweet from just because I feel like it would be pretty gross to not share it with you. But I was blocked by this person. And let me pull it up here. This is Jenna Friedman. If you aren't familiar with her, I got a story to tell you because I don't know a fucking thing about her yet. She already blocked me. So she tweets out, breaking news, Brock Turner, Stanford student athlete who assaulted unconscious woman, will speak at RNC. First of all, this is false. Secondly, I guess rape is funny again, guys. You know, the left, they love to change the rules, don't they?
No, they do. They love to change it when it suits them the most. And the problem is that they have this loud voice on what is, morally right and shit. And that's why it's so easy for them to just be against something and then be totally, not against it for certain people. And it's like no tolerance means no tolerance. But for some reasons, you're tolerating Joe Biden, you're tolerating Bill Clinton. But
it's just, it's just
this
all
thing,
of it.
When it comes to this,
it's a very good point. Very good point. It's garbage. Fucking garbage.
It really is. Fucking garbage.
Yeah. So Jenna Freeman, you can go fuck yourself with that shit. I mean, imagine being Brock Turner's victim and seeing that, not understanding that's a joke. Like that would fucking cause an anxiety attack. I don't want to be in that person's shoes at all. Anyways, moving on. Other DNC stuff. The GOPers who are now endorsing Joe Biden include John Kasich, Colin Powell, the former Secretary of State under George W. Bush, and as of today, former Republican Representative Charlie Dent.
Oh my God!
I know
these are so prominent figures in the RNC
in today's Republican Party.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Holy fucking shit, man!
Clint Dent. Oh my God!
Did you just say Clit?
Clint Dent.
God, I'm getting fucking calls right now. God. All right. With that being said, let's do this. I'm gonna go get Ern, and then, but first, before I get Ern, I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna go get Ern, and then we're gonna talk about your article that went in the forward about the UAE Israel deal. How's that sound?
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So let me change.
I'll answer some questions and stuff, and then talk about you behind your back.
Thank
which
you.
You're going to see when you come back.
Which I'm going to see when I come back eventually.
He's the one who edits these videos. That's what happens. But you can see, this is what happens when he drinks one beer, the bitch ass. But let's go ahead and see. Did you mention complete unhinged? Yeah. Honestly, Taylor Katz mentioning Rex Chapman. We were supposed to hit on it, and I think we will a little bit, and especially because of the conspiracy theories that they're throwing out on the USPS. I think it is it's on the level of QAnon in the terms of they have actual people going out and harassing I don't know how to say it, but the head of the USPS, they cause just as much damage and harassment as QAnon would, but the guy is not some high figure like Chrissy Tangent or whatever, where if you tweet a fucking pizza emoji at her, you get banned off of Twitter and shit. But I think it's damaging a lot of people's trust into the USPS, and it's not coming from Trump. That's the funny thing. Trump's not the one who's sowing this doubt into people. It is the left. They're tweeting out fucking pictures of piles of mailboxes and stuff and being like, why is Trump taking these mailboxes and shit? And it's not he's not the person who's doing it. And I just think it's fucking hilarious that something like that could happen. But yeah, we'll definitely hit on it when he comes back. I probably went on it a little bit too much, but let's see what else some people have to say. Did you see say Hillary's greatest achievement was taking an L? No, Samir, I did not see that. But Hillary's greatest achievement was marrying Bill Clinton and then covering rapists for the rest of her life. And then fucking, making sure that people in Libya died. That's her greatest fucking achievement. Jordan, does Siraj P sitting down? You know what, Jordan? Sometimes I pee sitting down. And I'm not a gay incel lib, but I don't know. Maybe there's a tweet I have to do when I'm sitting down, and then that's where I have my best thoughts coming to me, when I pee sitting down.
Here we go.
And also, peeing while sitting down is probably the cleanest way you can do it.
Oh, I love peeing while sitting down.
Of course you do, you fucking gay incel lib. Where's Jordan's comment? Jordan's comment. Look at it.
Where is it?
She
Where
asked
is it?
that question.
I didn't pee sitting down as a kid.
You walked right into it. That's so perfect. It was so perfect. Jordan, that was great teamwork right there. You and me. That was great.
I didn't pee while sitting down this time, but I'm not gonna like lie to you and say I never pee while sitting down. It's sometimes you need to sit down while peeing. Right, it has to happen. While everyone is enjoying Earn, I gotta go pee. Okay, it's my turn right now.
All right. We had a few. I had a few White Claws. He had a beer. Like, that's why this is happening.
All right. So, Q Earn on. Yeah. Q Earn on. What a buddy. Let's see. Oh, okay. He wants to just hang out on the leg. Mickey says your article is incredibly moving. Thank you for writing it. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate that. I actually wrote that article in the forward that's under Mujahed Kobbe's name. It's my pen name, actually. Habibi Gun says, Siraj, do you like my predictions? Oh, those are your predictions on the TDS bracket? They was good. They're good. Very close to being I think you had one of the matchups. I want to say it was Jennifer. No, it was, I think, Charlie Kirk beating Bill Mitchell by like 45-45%, and it was like 53-47, something like that. It's very close. Vegas Yak Ron, Siraj ghostwriting as a gay incel lib. Yeah, that's me. Carla says, I have a much better profile picture now. No, you don't. Dude, I see the exact same thing. Carter Scott, Siraj is going to win the TDS bracket. Right now, Jennifer Rubin has a massive lead over Alyssa Milano. Massive. Throbbing lead. He's
definitely going to beat Alyssa Milano.
Beat it up.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it's gonna end with either Brian Stelter or Jim Acosta against Jennifer Rubin. But
dude, it's already in the championship.
Wait, who's going against who?
It's Jennifer Rubin and Alyssa Milano.
That's the championship?
That's the championship.
You motherfuckers. Brian Stelter is the biggest bitch on Twitter. What the fuck is wrong with you pieces of shit? It's gotta be Alyssa fucking Milano? Like, she doesn't even fucking matter. What the fuck? Okay, I'm done with this.
Faye asked Siraj, why did you post that Dem song? Do you hate us? Yes, I do. Oh my God. Actually, what's funny is Brian Stelter got crushed by Jennifer Rubin. I want to say in the Elite Eight. Crushed.
I can't believe it. I just voted
Destroyed.
for Brian Stelter, then left. And it's like, how could that happen? How can Jennifer Rubin beat Brian Stelter? He is on day after day just being a little fucking bitch. I mean, Jennifer Rubin is being a complete fucking slut for sure. But being a slut and being a bitch is completely different things.
No. Jennifer Rubin is not a slut, okay? You're a slut.
She's sucking DNC's dick right now. Like, she's choking on it right now, saying they deserve Emmys. She's a slut.
But that's more the qualities of a simp, not a slut. A slut is someone like you who sucks everyone's dick.
And licks everyone's ass.
That's true too. Cox asked, "Where's Gracie?" Gracie's currently sleeping right now. I had thought about bringing her on Habibi Power Hour, but I don't know if I could handle having both Ernie and Gracie in my lap. So you either get one or the other, and Ernie's actually a headliner. So unless Gracie wants to change her habits, that's all we got to do. Jeff HS. So let's clear things up. Who is that? A picture of that you and Jay keep posting about? Which one? Do you know which one? I don't know what he's talking about.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna let this marinate. In fact, I'm not gonna say anything for the next 30 minutes until he actually posts
the actual picture, or like
the
the
actual
one
picture.
of us. What the fuck it is?
Yeah.
So I have no idea what he's talking about. But before we get into the article and stuff, somebody was talking about Rex Chapman. And
I wanted to get we were going to talk about after your US UAE Israel deal, because the USPS is coming up and Rex Chapman is on that docket. But and we're going to shit on him really hard. It's
I like taking hard shit. I had Taco Bell and curry today, so like, let's do this fucking
and a box of crayons. All right, so let's talk about the U.S. Brokering this UAE deal with Israel. Obviously, a historic breakthrough, game changer, and some critics calling it a betrayal. But what's being reported that we know of is that there's been a normalization of relations between the United Arab Emirates, which is a prominent Gulf state. It is the country that houses the western beacon of Dubai, where you're from, Jay, even though you're Lebanese, you piece of shit.
I grew up in Abu Dhabi.
It's Abu Dhabi, yeah. But in any event, this, so what's going to happen, just to give you an idea, before we get to talk about your piece in the Four, which was really well written, it could have been better. And the only reason I say that is because the world just isn't ready for your ass-eating prowess. So there's a part in the article. I just want to pull it up right here. God, are they going to try to make me pay for reading this? I don't want to read it anymore. Oh, here we go. He writes, from the age of 8 until adulthood, I called the UAE home. It was a place I enjoyed most of my first day of school, the first time I ditched school, my first kiss, my first chicken shawarma, crashing my first car. In between, right after my first kiss, you have eating. You in the rough draft, you had eating my first ass.
Right, I did. And I was really this close into sending it in with it.
I like that. Obviously, that sent me right there. That was really fucking funny. But the parts of the deal that we do know about is that Israel is not going to claim sovereignty over parts of the West Bank in exchange for Israel having access to the UAE market and being allowed, commercial travel, tourism between the two countries. Obviously, big deal, huge deal. Never thought we'd see this. probably in our lifetimes. And that's coming from me. I don't even know about you because you actually grew up there. Tell us a little bit about it while we watch Earn.
Right. And well, I grew up there, and in the piece I wrote about how anti-Semitism was really prominent in the UAE in terms of not only just my household, but also when I was going to the mosques, even in school. I mean, and it didn't only come from where you would think it would come from, like Muslims and stuff like that. It came from all Arabs mainly. They just really hated not just Israel. It was really anti-Semitic because they hated Jews. They would always speak of it as the Yahud. And being able to see prominent UAE figures, Emiratis, post the UAE flag with the Israeli flag, with having the Jerusalem Zoo tweet with the Ain Zoo about their wild animals, having Benjamin Netanyahu actually live on a UAE news channel, like, it blew my mind. It really, really did, because you have it in when you're in like, for example, Friday prayers, you're listening to the khutbah and all that kind of stuff. They're really saying, like, may Allah destroy Israel, may Allah kill all the Jews, like all this kind of stuff that goes into it. And then you have, I'm growing up with in my household where people are talking about how, when I say people, I mainly mean my dad. My mom, she's American and stuff. She never really listened or gave prominence to any of these things. But saying things like Jews are the reason why Muslims split between Sunnis and Shiites, Jews did 9/11, all this kind of stuff growing up, it really gave you a taught hate against Jews and Israel. And I thought that and then coming here, I was able to, squash that, meeting Jews and meeting people from Israel and stuff really allowed me to change my mind with things. And I think being able to teach, and not only being able to teach, but opening yourselves up to actually speaking with people from Israel, speaking with Jews, being able to travel to each other's countries and talk to people and all that kind of stuff, it's going to really cause a domino effect. And I think we're seeing it right now. I mean, Saudi Arabia opened up their airways for Israel and Dubai travel to go in between each other. Like, this is insane. This is just crazy. Sudan is a prominent Muslim country in Africa, is opening up relations with Israel. And the best part about all of this is that it is showing that Ben Rhodes is a fucking piece of shit and had no idea what the fuck he was talking about when it came to the Middle East and how to broker relations between Israel and everyone else around him. Ben Rhodes and the Obama administration really wanted to hinder a lot of reach for Israelis when it came to brokering in somebody like the UAE or somebody like Saudi Arabia or somebody like Sudan and stuff like that, because the UAE is a very open country. It really is.
I've been there several times.
Yeah, they have churches, they have all of these things. They don't have synagogues. They don't have, they have Hindu temples and stuff like that. But now they're going to have synagogues. They're going to have more Jewish people coming in. And the more mixing we have, the better it is that you're going to see it. You're going to see the area thrive. Like, I'm just so giddy and happy seeing something like this happen, because I've always wanted to see me go to like Jerusalem, go visit Israel, and then go to Dubai, for example, and have the same stamp on my passport. It's really amazing. I'm really happy to see it.
Yeah, for those who aren't aware, when you go to Israel, and then try to go to any other country in the Middle East, because a lot of these Arab countries don't recognize Israel as existing, they will not let you into the country if your passport has an Israeli stamp on it. So
which is why Israel gives you a piece of paper, basically, that they stamp on. And
which is crazy to think about that. Like, they got to do that because they're basically catering to what the Arab nations are doing. But that's just
right.
Like, if they didn't do that, I think they understand that people won't come to Israel and visit them for whatever, commercial business or tourism that they may, or family visits. Like, it's I mean, this is a great first step. And, it's kind of crazy that the first thing that Trump critics think about is like, oh, it had to be done for political reasons to help him with the election. Like, can't you just like look at a deal and on its merits and actually judge it for what it is and not who brokered it? Like, that's a good, it's a good thing to not be constantly fighting with each other, especially based on religious or geopolitical differences. Like, it's just like, that's how bad Trump has broke these people. Like, as you're saying, Ben Rhodes, like, his immediate thing, it's just immediate criticism right away. And he has no leg to stand on when it comes to brokering foreign policy agreements, or any foreign agreements, I should say. Billy Finn chiming in here. Thank you, Billy. This fundamentally rejected the Obama era idea that we needed to appease Hamas and Iran for peace. Utterly rejected, particularly Iran, beyond awful policy. Happy to see this. I agree with that. I think when Obama was running in 2008, and he was running on the platform of trying to withdraw the United States from Iraq and Afghanistan, that was something I was on board with. But I didn't foresee all the other stuff. I didn't foresee Iran. I didn't foresee his fecklessness when it came to dealing with the Arab Spring, with dealing with the Syrian civil war, with even dealing with the Egyptian uprising that led to the ouster of Hosni Mubarak, and implemented what's his name?
Sisi.
No, not Sisi. The guy who was in between us, the Muslim Brotherhood guy. Trying to remember his name now. Fuck. Hold on.
I think it was Sisi, wasn't it?
No. Sisi is just a strong man now who operates more or less as a dictator, but for some reason the Coptic.
Morsi. Thank you, Jordan.
Morsi, Mohammed Morsi. That's it. Thank you. Morsi, who's part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and then like Iran in 2009, they had the Green Revolution, and that was a time in which you had the presidential election in which Mahmoud Ahmadinejad won re-election, and almost looked like it was it looked like it was a rigged election. And you had young people, millions of people protesting around the country. And they were just getting brutally beaten by state forces. And Obama could have done something, and he didn't. So it's pretty sad how Obama dropped the ball on that, because it looked like he preferred to not take a stand. Or at least it looked like he preferred to just be liked and loved, rather than doing something that took courage. And I'm not saying that we should get involved in every single conflict, but when it comes to, bad actors like Iran, if you see an opportunity, you should probably take it. So
right, and also one of the biggest things is his red line, especially when it came to Syria.
The Syria red line, for sure.
He didn't do shit. I mean, if you're going to state that there's a red line that you're not going to cross, be a fucking man and actually do it, and don't allow 500,000 people to die.
Like, Ernie would have done more for Iran than Obama did. Like, he would have peed on Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's jacket and Mahmoud would have dropped dead right there and then.
Right, he would have. It would have been acid through his heart.
Yeah, and I guess
100%.
This is Ern's first appearance on any news network or podcast since he peed on my tan suit. So you can see how proud he is of himself.
Yeah,
And,
he is.
You know, I'll let you bask in the glow. Good boy. Anyways, since we are,
let's just end it with this. Jared Kushner did more for Middle Eastern peace than Ben Rhodes.
Yeah. We got other stuff we want to cover. I don't know if we have time to cover all of it because there's just so much fucking shit. Let me just real quick. I think we'll end on USPS, but I really want to hit on this Trump posthumous pardon and Andrew Cuomo just really quick. So Trump issued a posthumous pardon to Susan B. Anthony. Susan B. Anthony, led the women's suffragette movement, trying to give the women the right to vote. She illegally voted in the 1872 presidential election. What's interesting is that it happened on the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment being passed, giving women the right to vote. Immediately, and this is the criticism I make of woke white liberals, because at least Black people understood the women's suffrage movement in the United States. I mean, it was the movement of its time in that the sense that they were just trying to get white women the right to vote. So it's kind of funny that because Trump was the one to pardon him, all the woke white liberals now finally understood that Susan B. Anthony was a racist and shouldn't get her pardon. And that was just hilarious to me. Imani Gandhi, who I guess she called Susan B. Anthony kinfolk with Trump. And if you remember in 2016, when people were finally voting for a woman at the top of the ticket in the presidential election, you remember how many I voted stickers were on Susan B. Anthony's grave in honor of Hillary Clinton. It's in fucking Vox.com of all places. So like that is just, it's just amazing to see people sort of snap their hamstrings from all the backtracking.
Right. No, it is. I mean, they'll do the same thing with Lincoln. They'll do the same thing with Grant. Of course, they're going to do the same thing with Susan B. Anthony. Yeah. Nothing's ever going to be fucking good enough. You know what I mean? Susan B. Anthony really did push forward and allow for things to roll for women's rights and everything, which I think is a mistake. Like 100%.
Wait, what?
What? Women's rights are a mistake. Know this.
I was trying to make sure I heard you right.
You did. It's a complete mistake. Like, we need to roll those back. All right. We need to go.
Again, make sure they don't have the right to drive. Make sure they cover the. We already have it so that their faces are covered. Alhamdulillah. Now we just got to make sure they cover. Now we got to make sure they cover their hair and then the rest of their body. And then they can never go out without a male companion who is related to them, whether they be their husband or family member. So.
And they can only vote in the same way the man of the household votes.
Okay, one other thing before we get to USPS. Andrew Cuomo is planning to publish a book in October on the pandemic. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. He's doing a fucking victory lap, saying like, "Oh, I did this shit so well. Like, follow me." Like, no, go fuck yourself. Come on.
He's getting a big head over it because you have people in the media and you have people in the DNC and the Democratic Party as well, showcasing that this guy is doing right on what's happening in the pandemic. Like, they're saying Florida and Arizona and Georgia is doing worse than New York, while sending out article after article saying, "Oh, look at New York. This is how we have to do it. Yeah. This is how it's done." So of course it's going to give him a big head. Yeah. The main thing you have to see is when this stuff was happening, where was he? Getting his dick sucked on CNN by his own brother. Yeah. That's where he was. And that's where it was happening. So it gave him this fucking idea that he can just come out and say that he's just this big guy, and nobody's pushing back on it. You don't have an article on New York Times. You don't have any of these prominent places pushing the idea that Cuomo actually killed 11,000 grandparents. And Maggie, Herbert fucking whatever men has the nerve to say that the media was holding him accountable.
It's
she
amazing.
Had barely 0 tweets about it. She elevated 0 articles saying that they did absolutely horrible on it. It's like, bitch, suck a dick.
Sarah Jacobs, thank you, Sarah. Jay, you're quoting Steven Crowder here. I hope it's the part about his. No,
women
I feel like
not being able to vote.
Oh no, I thought it was, because I was just gonna say like, I don't feel like Steven Crowder would ever suggest that Andrew Cuomo is getting his dick sucked by his brother on CNN. That seems like a Jay original.
I think it is a Jay original to be completely honest.
Essentially 100% a Jay original.
I'm done.
All right, Ernie, you can go down. I'm sorry, but let him hang out. Okay. Lastly, we want to cover the USPS, the U.S. Postal Service, because this was a big story over the past week. It's so stupid, but look, there are a couple things that you can make criticisms about. For one, I think Trump fucked up about making this whole thing a negotiation and made it look like he wants to get something out of these negotiations for funding for the United States Postal Service. Now, if you guys are not familiar with how shitty the USPS is, just today it was reported that in Maine, of all places, there was a delivery of little chicks, baby chickens, being delivered to a farm in Maine. And let me just find this real quick because this is. Here we go. A Maine farmer went to pick up 800 baby chicks from the U.S. Postal Service. They were all dead. The USPS has been delivering chicks since 1980, but
Why
now
are they killing all these women?
Dead chick deliveries are costing Maine farmers thousands of dollars. So if there's any reason to defund the Postal Service, is because of all the chicken blood, the baby chick blood that's on their hands. I mean, and this was reported today. Like, I keep thinking, is it like the chicken lobby that's coming up with this like smear campaign against the U.S. Postal Service, or the farm, or the ag lobby, the agricultural lobby? But no, this is something that it sounds like. I gotta say, it does sound a bit fishy, but in any case, the reason why people are so mad about Trump's handling of the U.S. Postal Service is because of the upcoming election and the ability for the post office to handle mail-in ballot access. And I did a explainer video on my YouTube channel, which you could probably check out. I'm sure it's a little bit outdated now just because I talk about like certain things happening that week, but in essence, there are 5 states that currently have mail-in only ballot access. That's Colorado, Utah, Washington State, Oregon, and Hawaii. And the main argument about expanding mail-in ballot access is that it would cause a massive amounts of voter fraud. Of the current evidence that we've seen, that has not really been the case in some of these states. If anything, there has been fraud, but not enough to say tip the scale of an election. Now, if I can see that there could be a problem on the horizon with expanding mail-in ballot access to all 50 states, including a lot of the territories throughout the Pacific as well as Puerto Rico, because I don't think these states have the infrastructure, or at least their election offices don't have the infrastructure to be able to go mail-in only. And you certainly wouldn't get the results on the same night like you would if everybody showed up to vote. But the irony in all of this is that you have people protesting in front of Postmaster General Louis DeJoy's house, completely undermining their case that they need to vote by mail to avoid mass gatherings. I mean, like, come the fuck on, people. At least, like, stick to a fucking message. And the worst part about it, well, before though I get to the worst part about it, there was a Social Security, there was a lot of misinformation involving Social Security checks. I even got it wrong, and I admitted to it because I'm trying to be intellectually honest with you, and I feel it's important to try to get it right at the best I possibly can. what we found out was that at least 0.85% of all Social Security benefits were going out per month via check, via mail. Whether it's being used by the U.S. Postal Service, I have no idea. But if you go to the Social Security Administration, 0.85% of all Social Security benefits went out through check in the month of August so far. But I mean, that was like 548,000 compared to the 63 plus million Social Security benefits that went out through direct deposit. And in 2013, they ended the practice of mailing checks out in preference for direct deposit. But of course, they have extenuating circumstances for some people because obviously, we're talking about boomers here. Probably don't have. I'm sure some of them don't even have a bank. They just cash, or even electronic, banking.
Right, and most of the debit cards are provided by the security, the Social Security Administration. To me, those are outliners, and when you have something less than
outliners or outliers,
when you have something, less than 1% statistically, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. I know it's 500,000 people, sure, but when you're coming into dealing with the thing and actually talking about statistically, less than 1% doesn't really add up for shit. And the USPS service has been lacking and losing money for years, and it's not something that happened under Trump or Obama.
And a lot of it is because of Amazon,
right? And that's absolutely true.
So Jeff Bezos is getting all the money that the U.S. Postal Service is losing.
That motherfucker. I mean, at the end of the day, if you had somebody like FedEx or UPS, taking control over these things, I would have a little bit more. I would feel a little bit better on it. Yeah, I'm going to vote in person. I mean, you have hundreds of thousands of people out protesting and shit. You can vote in person, and Dr. Fauci himself said you can vote in person.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it's just like it's a complete slap in the face to say all the the frontline workers, the grocery store workers, all the people who have been hustling their asses off since the beginning of this pandemic, to them, get on your high horse and say, no, I can't go out in public because it's too high risk, and I'm gonna risk getting coronavirus. Like at the rate that we've been going at, if you haven't gotten coronavirus by now, you're probably fine.
Right.
But it's just, and like, that's just like a numbers game. Like you probably had coronavirus, you didn't even know it. Like that's like people are asymptomatic to it just as much as they are symptomatic to it. This is a virus we just cannot tell the differences with. And when it comes to like mail-in voting, like it is such a dumb hill for Trump critics and Democrats to die on, because it's all of, and just with Trump, both sides are trying to set up as many qualifiers as possible to ensure that when one side loses, if their side loses, they have an out and they can blame the post office for, say, fucking us up, or Trump trying to steal the election. But Trump put his foot in his mouth by trying to make it look like a negotiation. He shouldn't have done that at all. He actually he hurt himself. He undermined himself, and it made him look sleazy, because it makes him appear like he's trying to gain some sort of unfair advantage in these negotiations about funding the post office.
I was going to say he should have ran with that. The fact that they poured $19 billion in it in the first round of coronavirus, what's it called, relief.
Yeah,
that actually, there's $19 billion that went into it. Why would he say okay to $19 billion if he's believing? But of course, he's a fucking moron. He doesn't know how to, give off the right message, and that's what hurt him.
Yeah, but I want to finish off on the dumbest thing of all, and this is why you all need to stay in school, kids. What the fuck happened to it? Did I lose it? Hold on, let me pull this up. I just had it. Where's my history? Here we go. All right, so saving the best for last, because, well, actually Ernie's the best, so second best for last. Okay, so for those who have been on Twitter, You're probably familiar with a gentleman by the name of Rex Chapman. If you aren't familiar with Rex Chapman, here's who he is. He is a basketball legend in Kentucky. He was one of the best players in high school in the 80s. And he also played at the University of Kentucky. You know, this guy was like the talented white kid that you never expected to be that good at basketball. Got to the NBA, actually had a very I wouldn't say accomplished career, but he had a respectable career as an NBA player, averaging at least double digits in points over his career. He actually was one of the players who I think he put up 39 on the 95-96 Bulls that went 72-10 and beat the Bulls in the regular season. I mean, like, you know, Rex Chapman as a basketball player, not something to bat an eye at. Right. Now, Rex Chapman, the person who is in his retirement, is the fucking worst. And I want to highlight this because this is just how Trump derangement syndrome works. If you all can see this, it's pulling up right now. This is a photo he posts this past weekend. Burbank, California. In your entire life, have you ever seen a locked mailbox at the USPS? Locked is all caps. Now you have a disgrace, an immediate threat to American democracy. Shame on them. Shame on the GOP. Where are you, Senate Majority Leader? He's talking about Mitch McConnell. All right.
I bet he wants to suck Mitch McConnell's dick. He's fucking stalking him so fucking much. Sorry.
So, well, here's one thing. He is like a surrogate of Amy McGrath's campaign. He's campaigned for her. She's running for Senate against Mitch McConnell. She's just burning money at this point. She's not going to win. Cocaine Mitch, you know, he's still, you know, really popular in the state. But the fact that, for one, locked mailboxes have been used in the past, even as recent as 2016, that we've seen headlines for, because people have been stealing mail from there. And that's not, I mean, like, if you got people stealing mail, you're gonna have to put a fucking lockbox on it. All right, it's fucking August 2020. We're less than 3 months away from the election. How is this, for one, how is this threatening American democracy 3 months before the fucking vote even happens? And secondly, how does Mitch McConnell have any influence on what they do to the mailboxes in fucking Burbank, California? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And
and you have other posts in Portland showing lock boxes and stuff.
Yeah. So I put him on the list, and then he like laughed at me because this is a headline from 2016, updated in 2017. Yeah. Originally posted in 2016 and then updated in August of 2017. And then he fucking blocked me.
What a little
that piece of shit. And then that's not even the worst part. The worst part about it, not about Rex Chapman. I'm actually very glad he blocked me, because I couldn't stand to see one more video of him saying dogs, bruh.
Or not just dogs, bruh. Block our charge while he's stealing
block
other
our
people's
charge.
fucking content.
Yeah, all he does is steal other people's content. He's the fucking left's Benny Johnson. And then this is from Claire. This is from Claire McCaskill, the former senator from Missouri who got beat by Josh Hawley in 2018. Was it 2016 or 2018? I think it was 2018.
2018.
Yeah. She writes, so now they are not hauling them off, just locking them up. This one is in DC. This one, this is an image from Capitol Hill, but in fucking Capitol Hill, Seattle, Washington. Do you, if you zoom in, you see that? You see that right there? The license plate?
Yeah.
That is Washington State. You fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
It's too good. And these are conspiracy theories that these people are pushing, and it is causing harassment against the head of the USPS. Like, people out like protesting at his house because of this stuff. And I just find it insanely hilarious that you have people like like, for example, I'm just going to say, like Jake Tapper, he comes out saying, you know, rightfully saying QAnon and all this kind of conspiracy stuff is really horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's saying shit about what's happening with USPS.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying shit about the harassment that's happening against the head of the USPS.
It's just so wild.
Really
Louis DeJoy. Louis DeJoy.
Louis DeJoy.
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 Anyways, this coming from Taylor. Thank you so much, Taylor. With a very cool number of 1619. I imagine that's allude to the 1619 project or the 669. Nice. Either way.
Nice.
Taylor writes, people who think Trump needs to slow down USPS have obviously never used USPS. Fucking great point. Carlos, I saw he had a really good, where is it? Come on, Carlos. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here we go. Carlos says, I got sold a yacht that was never delivered. Voter fraud is no joke. Gretchen, hey Gretchen, thanks for chiming in. My mom sued Multnomah County for not destroying leftover ballots at 8 p.m. per the law, and the judge just threw it out. Wonder Kimmy, yeah, stick to the fucking message. Yes to mass gathering. Billy Finn says I'm going on the list for that. I don't know what I'm going on the list for, but I'm sure he'll make it known to me. Let's see here. Oh, Gretchen says voter fraud is a problem in Oregon and has tip scales in local elections. I'd like to see which ones. I was going with statewide, but if I'm sure local is probably, any vote in local elections could change the dynamic there. And people forget all politics is local. So, if you're actually more concerned about certain policies, like whether you can post a sign a certain size that's political, it's probably because of your local council voting on that shit. So you got to make sure you vote in your local elections. There was another comment here that I was looking for, and now I'm losing it. Billy Finn. Thank you again. Last super chat couldn't be 1619, had to be 1776. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Billy. But someone mentioned here, Faye says, Siraj, you missed Rex's post tonight where he blamed Mitch McConnell for his opioid addiction.
Yeah, he did. He actually that's right. He did do that.
Yeah.
That is so fucking mind-boggling to me.
That's so wild. Yeah. So Rex Chapman, I said this online. The Rex Chapman, he had a very respectable stat line, but his stat line now is basically all steals.
No, that's exactly what it is. And he obviously sold himself out to try and seat McConnell for the McGrath, and it's not going to happen. He's just showing himself to be a fucking sold out little bitch. That's all he's shown himself to be.
Billy Finn says you're going on the list for that Social Security thing, bruh. Wow. Give me the Rex Chapman, bruh. Actually, I will say Rex Chapman ruined the word bruh for me. I know every time I hear it or think it or say it, I'm like, fucking Rex Chapman, that motherfucker.
We're on Twitter too much. That's what it is.
Yeah. Andrew Maloney says, did you see that great Athletic article that detailed the NBA ratings decline? 45% since 2012. Bubble ratings are lower than pre-pandemic. Really hate to see it. I actually still like the NBA in spite of all their bullshit, the China stuff. There's just something about watching basketball that just makes me feel comforted. And I say that seriously because I grew up watching basketball. I actually got a chance to play for the college team in England, not in the US. I wasn't that good, but
you're good enough for England.
Good enough for England, where everybody is playing soccer. So, I actually, I do like basketball a lot. And Taylor Katz says it's the giant black dick, Siraj.
even know what you're saying. It's
I don't know.
giant black
Oh, that comforts you.
That's perfect. That's really perfect. Good one, Taylor. That was great. That was great.
That was perfect. Yeah.
And on that note,
yeah. On that note,
big black dicks on that comfort you.
I'm gonna let Jay's big black dick comfort me after this.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So, before we go, just read a couple more comments. Boris Faraj, if you weren't such traitors in 1776, transgenders wouldn't be smashing every Starbucks window in your country right now. You were supposed to make things better when you left us. What happened? Boris, by the way, is from England, and he's still pissed about the American Revolution. Fuck off, Boris.
Suck my dick, bitch. Man, he's over in England where they're fucking going after people who tweet. Like, suck a dick, Boris.
Yeah.
Come to America.
Faye says NBA can be forgiven anything, but sponsoring prison camps in China. I mean, like, I'll never forgive them for their policies, but I'm still a big Celtics fan. I'll continue to watch them. Steve R says, agreed, Siraj. NBA's best players in the world just have awful politics. They really, I mean, a lot of bad politics. Anyways.
No, they do. But one thing I have to say, LeBron James actually thinking that he's anywhere near Michael Jordan is a fucking travesty. And anyone who thinks that is a fucking travesty. I don't give a fuck. Rings mean everything, and also stardom. And LeBron James doesn't even hit what Michael Jordan has done for the NBA.
Boris says we saved. Oh, Billy Finn says, Boris, we saved your fucking lives from Hitler, bitch. I was about to dunk on this because I thought it was Boris writing it, not Billy Finn. I was like, wait, Boris thinks that England saved America from Hitler? Like, where the fuck is he? But anyways, yeah, I actually this season on the Western Conference, I'm a big fan of the Portland Trailblazers. I really want to see them upset the LA Lakers. Well, because I've always hated LeBron James, but I've also always hated the Lakers, and to see both go because of Dame Time, CJ McCollum. Even Carmelo would be fucking amazing. I love that Carmelo's finally back. I mean, I got really depressed thinking that he was never going to play again, and here he is, fucking lighting it up on Portland. By the way, I wrote this last night, and I still think it's true. Portland does not deserve the Trailblazers at all, and that it's such a shitty city. Sure, I've never been to it, but who gives a shit? I'm going to shit on any city I want to. Philadelphia shouldn't exist. I'm a huge Celtics fan. I think the Sixers are the worst team in the world. I think every team from Philadelphia should be sucked into a black hole, and actually the whole city should be sucked into a black hole, so it should never exist. And actually, that's just like from pure sports hatred. I have a lot of friends in Philly. Last time I went to Philly, had a great time. But when it comes to sports, no love. Fuck those people.
and Philly is a nasty city.
Yeah, well, every city has nastiness, but like Philly,
but Philly is a special.
Philly's just like over the top. So yeah. So, anyways, Habibis, real quick, halal and haram. What was the most halal thing about this episode? You think, Jay?
About the most.
I'd say it was your article. Your article was the most halal.
That was
the most haram thing was that we got banned by YouTube
for a brief moment.
That was
haram.
That was
very, very haram.
Yeah. Well, Habibis, thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate your patience because of the initial ban. If you're listening to this later and have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, you will understand that we were going on for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And we used a promo that I created, but it featured videos of another video from YouTube. An immediate, terms of service violation. It just didn't happen. Oh, LB. I didn't realize LB was here. LB saying, night all. Sorry, I wasn't as interactive as usual, XO. Well, your loss, LB.
Well, she was busy taking feet pics for me.
By the way, did you see Amy Klobuchar's tweet of her feet pics?
No.
Why?
I'll have it. Oh, yeah, I did. You're like, why? No, I did. I did see him.
So good.
Shit.
All right, Habibis. Y'all been great. Thanks for joining us for another Habibi Power Hour. We will see you on the interwebs, and we'll see you here next week, hopefully on time. And I understand if we get banned,
With no ban.
It's literally Islamophobia. Peace, Habibis. Y'all been great. Love y'all. Ma salama.